Hello, my name is Michelle Rogers, and I'll be working on this course from the Destin area in sunny Florida. You can see why they call it the Emerald Coast by the spectacular watercolor in the picture that I took on the slide. I'm a business sustainability major, so all topics relating to sustainability interest me. The urban heat island phenomenon personally caught my attention the most, and I had a strong desire to learn more about it. I also have family in the Phoenix area, and I hope that I can relay key points that I learned from the topic to them.
Hi, my name is Lynn, and I'm taking the Sustainable World course online at ASU from the Seattle area in Washington State. Sustainability is an important topic in our region, especially with the current influx of people that are growing our population here very quickly. We have delicate ecosystems that must be maintained in order for our region to keep its beauty and uniqueness. While we do have a very different climate than Arizona, there's a lot to learn from this topic as everything on Earth is connected in some way through our shared environment. I currently work as a project manager for a firm whose business is building automation. Our customer base is made up of many large and complex facilities such as skyscrapers, data centers, labs, and hospitals that all have unique and robust energy demands. That makes this topic of particular interest to me, since much of the strategy for dealing with the heat in Phoenix is by having air conditioning. AC can be very energy intensive, and it is important to operate buildings efficiently in order to avoid creating new problems. As energy demands increase, smart buildings will be one way in which we are able to meet these demands sustainably.
Hello, my name is Colton Copelin, and I live about 20 miles north from the city of Pittsburgh. Although I have lived in the suburbs my entire life, I find myself in the city many times throughout the year for a variety of reasons. It pains me to say that I was unaware of this issue that is affecting the city that I love. This lack of knowledge that I'm guilty of fueled my decision in choosing this topic. To me, in order to help be a part of the solution, it is not only important for one to be aware of the problem, but to be knowledgeable of it. With this project, I hope to learn strategies of how to help contribute in solving this global phenomenon.
Hey guys, my name is Miguel Barajas, and I live in Los Angeles, California. I recently left the Army a year ago, and I spent 5 years in the Army as a medic. So I am currently a veteran going to ASU online through Starbucks. I chose urban heat island effect because I think this is a very important topic that will affect millions of people over the next several decades. I foresee a lot of people being displaced because of cities like Phoenix being too hot to live, especially for the elderly and for young people. So I think this is a very important topic that we need to tackle and hopefully change policy in order to create more sustainable cities and urban environments.
The problem our group will be examining is the urban heat island effect in Phoenix, Arizona. This is a phenomenon in which temperatures in urban areas are noticeably higher than their neighboring rural areas due to lack of vegetation, increased materials such as concrete and steel. These temperatures can be as much as 10 to 15 degrees higher at night because of the heat that all of these materials retain. Some of the key stakeholders for this issue are the major decision makers of the urban environment, the city planners from the local government, as well as architects and engineers will have to figure out ways to minimize the issue for current infrastructure and develop new strategies going forward as the city continues to grow. Other stakeholders are clearly the residents and population living within the heat island. Everyone is impacted, but the most vulnerable are those without access to cooling, such as low-income individuals, the homeless, and those working outdoors. The elderly are uniquely impacted due to stresses on health that the excess heat can cause.
Urban heat islands are directly caused by the stakeholders' actions. The rate of population growth is increasing every year. More and more people move from rural to urban areas as well. Large cities become even more dense due to urbanization, which causes the need for more infrastructure. City developers such as architects, engineers, and planners exacerbate the issue by using unsustainable building practices. Poor planning and design examples include choosing industrial materials with high thermal emittance values and removing large sections of natural landscapes.
There are characteristics of urban development that make it susceptible to experiencing the effects of urban heat islands. When I think of any city, my mind instantly pictures tall skyscrapers that are very close together. This feature in urban areas creates a driving factor that contributes to urban heat islands. Because of the congestion of these tall structures, wind flow is dramatically affected. These buildings act as obstructions to the natural wind flow that helps cool suburban and rural areas. Another driving factor of urban heat islands are the properties and materials that are found throughout cities. Most cities are made up of dark materials. Darker surfaces tend to have a lower solar reflectance value than lighter surfaces. In other words, these dark surfaces absorb heat instead of reflecting it. To add fuel to the fire, the materials that dominate urban infrastructure are steel and stone. These particular materials have high heat capacities. This means that they are able to maintain high amounts of heat that it absorbs throughout the day. Between these two properties, an increase in urban area temperature is imminent. The third driving factor is the reduced vegetation as cities develop. Not only do trees and vegetation create shade within suburban and rural areas to help lower surface temperatures, but they also help reduce air temperature through a process called evapotranspiration. This process is when plants release water into the environment. This water in the air helps dissipate heat, lowering air temperatures. These are all factors that drive cities to experiencing the harmful effects of heat islands.
Some of the prominent impacts of the urban heat island phenomenon include increased nighttime and average daytime temperatures in urban areas compared to the rural surroundings. Hotter temperatures increase energy demand and usage. There are also negative impacts on air quality and on human health.
For sharing documents in this assignment, our group is going to use Google Apps to utilize the cloud. We are collaborating on our presentation in Google Slides so that everyone can see what has been done and provide feedback. This allows for a good level of transparency and teamwork. We're downloading to PowerPoint once we have agreed upon slides so that we can utilize its functions for recording narration. Then we will use Google Drive to share files and have one team member compile them into our final presentation. For further research projects, we will be using Google Docs as well. This is great for tracking changes and providing comments to other team members.
It's not easy communicating with team members when working remotely. Tools that have worked well for us include emails and the Discord app. We use emails for sharing work and sending out important reminders. Discord is where we do most of our communicating, where we have constant group texts that are organized into subcategories. We also use Discord for group voice calls and for referencing group members' contact information and schedule.
After a strong sense of communication had been established, it is important to operate collaboratively as a group. We decided to use a program called Discord in order to work on the assignment. This allowed our group to smoothly make critical decisions, work through any issue that presented itself, or even just bounce ideas off one another. Nightly conversations through Discord among team members, even if everyone could not make it that night, was the most common way we collaborated. Voice channels, again through Discord, which is like Skyping with just audio, was how we performed group meetings that had been scheduled. These forms of communication gave our group the ability to work collaboratively and successfully finish the assignment. In order to make sure that everyone was going to contribute equally, our group decided to assign specific slides that they would be in charge of. Obviously, if anyone had a question about their information, Discord allowed them to ask other team members. We then came up with dates and times for our group meetings. We decided what needed to be done at that specific time to allow the group to move forward. These group meetings required everyone's attendance to ensure the equality within our team. It was important to assign what everyone was going to do early on in the process to guarantee that everyone would contribute equally.